Yo, what's up everyone? Sorry, no silly intro today. My hair looks silly anyway, so it's like this because I have to do some military school stuff in Thailand, so I don't have to join the army when I'm 21. I wasn't planning on filming today. There's actually some reptile expo that is what, you thought it was gonna fall? No! So anyways, there's a reptile expo that's open till tomorrow, so we're going today. So let's go. So you can probably see that he's shedding right now. Put a bit of shed out of his eye because that kind of gets him kind of crazy sometimes when there's a lot of shed because they get really annoyed. So if there's any more shed pulling, I'll film it. And yeah, see the female right here, she's doing absolutely great. Look her, she might flare up a bit. Ooh, there you go. Yeah, so it is November 27th and it's kind of getting to where they are kind of hibernating because it's getting a little cold. Let's just see. Oh, okay. Here, she's a little aggressive now, but that's okay. It's just a little mouth opening. So yeah, there's a little up. Alright, now these are reticulated pythons. They are large constrictors native to Southeast Asia. They belong in the Pythonidae family and they're actually the world's longest snake, whereas the anacondas are actually the world's largest snake or heaviest snake. Now a lot of these snakes, they're really beautiful as you can see. They've actually gone through selective breeding by humans creating morphs, whereas the natural ones will look something more like this. Now when they say snakes are slippery, it's actually something called iridescence, which you can see right here makes them seem glowing, and it's also the same thing that makes them rainbow in coloration. These are Burmese pythons, and believe it or not, they're actually endangered here in their native land in Southeast Asia. But in Florida, where they're invasive, they have about 30,000 in population, and they're trying to get rid of it, so this is what they call the Burmese python paradox. Now these snakes actually have a particularly nasty bite since their teeth are actually serrated or curved backwards. So when you get bit, you do not want to pull or else they'll tear off all your flesh. These are boa constrictors. They're also a large constrictor snake, but they're native to South or Central America. And they belong in the Boidae family, which are also the same family as anacondas. Now this is the snake's head, and as you can see, the lower jaw is not connected. This helps them swallow large prey, and the hole you see in its mouth is actually called the glottis, which helps the snake breathe while swallowing prey. And of course, we have that forked tongue at the front that detects chemicals and lets them smell the environment. This is the mata turtle, and unlike alligator snapping turtles and common snapping turtles, where you can't see right here, where they actually use their tongue as lure or chase down prey, these guys actually just look really close to an environment where the fish are actually comfortable with their existence, and they just snap them. These are freshwater crocodiles or Siamese crocodiles. What's crazy about them is that they actually have pressure receptors all over their body, which detects like pressure change, temperature change, all the changes in the water. The scutes on their back also act as like a solar panel where they absorb all the heat, which into the blood vessels that are really close to the back. This is a bearded lizard. It's one of the two venomous lizards in America next to the Gila monster. The venom will not kill you, but it's also extremely painful. It's also kind of nicknamed the suicide lizard because it makes you want to commit suicide when you get bit. The bumpy texture on their body is actually their bones that are modified to be bumps. Now if you see the little holes on the lips of the snake, that's actually what we call the pit organs, which is what allows the snake to kind of detect temperature or see like infrared. Only pythons and pit vipers will have them, and that's why we need to warm up your little like rodent or whatever you're feeding it before feeding to the snake, because they will detect the warmth of the prey. Now as you can see from this video, she is an absolute puppy dog. The misconception of them being cold-blooded killers, they will eat you whenever they have the chance, they will kill you, whatever, that actually is sort of true, but it's only for instincts. They are cold-blooded animals unable to generate their own body heat, but they are definitely not cold-blooded killers at all. Now as you can see, she is very calm and relaxed, barely moving, barely flickering out her tongue. That might be because she's a bit tired, she's a bit cold in the temperature, and that's one of the bad parts about animal expos, is that they're kept there for a really long time without the proper like living conditions, so they'll be pretty tired. They won't, I don't think they'll necessarily die. That could happen, but it's one of the bad parts about reptile expos. But I do like them, the way they kind of educate people about these animals. That's really great. But their living conditions could be better. It's a little hard for them to be here having good living conditions and out on display as well. Now this is also one of the main reasons I actually wanted to come. This is an elephant trunk snake. They are an aquatic species of snake which are native to East Asia. Very docile animals. They rarely bite. They are a constrictor that mainly feeds on fish. This is why they have scales that are kind of like spiky, like your meat tenderizing hammers, where they can use that to wrap around fish so it won't escape. They are also believed to be the truth behind ghost stories of Thailand, where people kind of step in waters and then a hand grabs their leg, pulls them down. They might be actually stepping on these guys and they just freak out, they wrap around them and the weight pulls them down, so it kind of feels like like calloused hands, where because their scales are very sharp. So we hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe right now. Anyway, so gosh, what am I gonna say? See you next one. Ignore that.